Well, now you're Dr. Quinn, animated woman.
Yes. Well, Lady Juliana, animated woman.
Yeah, that's the lady right there.
That's the lady right there. Of course, if I did Dr. Quinn animated, it would save me getting up at 4 in the morning every day. It would be a lot easier.
How is it working with just the voice as an instrument?
It was fascinating. You know, you really have to put everything into one medium, into the vocal, you know, area. But it's still acting. It's the same kind of thing. And then, of course, this wonderful magical thing happens when they put the animation on, and you see all these wonderful expressions that the character has. And the way they did it was they videotaped me when I was doing the reading, and I think they used a lot of my expressions when they drew it.
Did you ever think when you were a little girl, maybe seeing some animated movies, that you'd someday grow up to be like Alice in Wonderland or something?
No, I never imagined this.
That's not something you'd normally put on your aspiration list either. It just kind of happens, I guess.
You know, I'm open to everything. I don't even know what I'm going to be doing, you know, next. There's always something exciting that comes around, and you know, this is not something one does for financial reasons. This is something you do because you love the movie or you love animation. And I was really intrigued to see how it worked and how they did it, and I thought it was an exciting experience.
You know, if people are watching, they will occasionally see you walk through the Nashville airport.
Yes.
You're usually low key, and you got your, you know, you're kind of you certainly don't look as glamorous as you do there when you're traveling. But you come to see the Cashes?
I do, yes, they're best friends of ours.
Is it June or Johnny or both of you?
June and Johnny are very, very good friends of ours, and in fact my husband is preparing a movie about the life story of Johnny and the love story between Johnny and June.
What a fascinating story that is.
As a feature, and Johnny Depp is interested in, expressed an interest in playing Johnny. So
Isn't it
that
interesting?
be great?
I mean, you know them as human beings,
Yes.
but it's interesting now that Johnny is considered to be cool again.
Very cool. He's the most wonderful human being you could ever know, and so is she. She's hysterical. Absolutely hysterical.
Great comedian. They both got great hearts. You know, if we could just ever get his health, you know, together for more than a couple of months at a time.
Well, we've had the privilege of not just working with them, but of actually living in the house with them there and in Jamaica, and all their friends in Nashville have, you know, taken us around. And I mean, this is going to be a great movie when we get to make this. This is going to be awesome.
God, who would play June?
I don't know. They were sort of whispering Ashley Judd at one point.
She could do it.
Yeah.
It has to be someone who's really got a personality that's bubbly.
Yeah, I think that's what they have to find.
That has a big heart.
That's true.
What relationship do you have with Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman? I mean, it's a job, but I mean, it's probably more to you than that, isn't it?
Way more than that. My father was a doctor. I'm one of 3 daughters. The whole backstory of Dr. Quinn is very similar to mine, although mine's in the present day. I grew up with medicine ever since I was a tiny girl. And I love that show. I just think it says wonderful things. It's very entertaining, and every week it gets me crying. So, you know, if you are going to do a TV show, I can't think of anything better to do.
Is the fun part working sometimes with the co-stars of who you're going to get to work with next? Is that kind of an interesting thing to go to work with every week? Makes it different?
We always end up with great co-stars. I mean, last week we had Willie Nelson, another one of these great guys. I mean, we've worked with a lot of country music people, like Travis Tritt and, oh gosh, Trisha Yearwood and go on, Barbara Mandrell. And we get some great people who want to co-star in it. Again, it's something people do because they love the show and they want to be part of it.
You know, I guess the first time I ever saw you as it was a Bond girl, is that a good memory for you? I mean, that certainly got you some attention.
Got me a lot of attention, and it put my feet firmly on the ground because, you know, as soon as my head swelled, I was fortunate enough to have a father-in-law at that time called Richard Attenborough, now Lord Richard Attenborough, whatever he is, and he taught me a couple of very important things. He said, never believe in your own publicity. The day you do, you're dead. And the other thing he told me was to work on my voice. And I think it's come full circle now because that was the one area that I was weakest in when I was 20. And now I'm asked to do voiceovers all the time. And in fact, I'm hired as much, if not more, for my voice than I am, you know, for my physicality. So isn't that amusing?
It is amazing. So will we see more of you maybe in the movies? Or is that something that you've kind of put on the back shelf?
No, I would like to do more movies. It depends on what happens with Dr. Quinn.
That does take a lot of time.
It takes a lot of time. I don't know if we're going to be picked up or not this next season, but we're still doing well, so we should be. I'm actually doing a movie for Showtime, which will be shown theatrically, about Fanny Kemble, a true story. I have a feature that's coming out this year, The New Swiss Family Robinson.
That's right, with your husband? With
my husband, which is a family movie, and it's terrific. David Carradine as well. And then next week I start a movie called The Marriage of Convenience with James Brolin and Shirley Knight, which we're shooting in Winnipeg.
I mean, we guys like the Dr. Quinn thing, but we like the glamorous Jane Seymour too, so it's okay. Nice seeing you again.
Well, it's not too late.
Thank you.
Thank you.